Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing the world has passed you by. Your skills, outdated. Your opportunities, gone. And the noise of the digital world, it's drowned out the sound of your own potential. But what if I told you that the ability to focus deeply, what Cal Newport calls deep work, could be the one skill that separates success from mediocrity in the modern world? Today, I'll tell you a story that reveals exactly why focus is the new superpower and why mastering it might just save your future. Welcome to Miss Finance Tales, where we explore self-development, finances, and the psychology of focus to help you build a life of purpose and wealth. If you're tired of distractions, if you feel like social media and endless notifications are stealing your dreams, then stay tuned. Because today we dive into a story that will show you what's at stake and how you can rise above the noise. Don't forget to subscribe if you want more transformational content like this. The city was alive with screens. Everywhere Daniel looked, whether on the subway, at the cafe, or even in the boardroom, people were glued to glowing rectangles. Swiping, scrolling, consuming. Daniel was different, or at least he wanted to be. He had always dreamed of being someone who mattered in the world of finance. A name people respected, someone who could create strategies that didn't just make money, but reshaped the very way markets moved. But lately he felt stuck. His days were fragmented. He would sit down to work on a complex financial model, only to be pulled into an endless loop of emails, Slack messages, and news alerts about markets crashing, rising, or panicking. By the end of the day, Daniel realized he had touched everything but built nothing. It wasn't always like this. Years ago, before his phone became an extension of his hand, Daniel could lose himself for hours in a spreadsheet, discovering patterns others missed. He remembered nights when time disappeared, when he'd look up from his laptop at 3 a.m., exhausted but exhilarated because he had created something. That was the magic of focus. But now, that magic felt lost. One night, unable to sleep, Daniel found himself scrolling through YouTube. He stumbled upon a talk by a computer science professor named Cal Newport. The title hit him like lightning: Why Focus Will Make You Rich in the Future. At first, Daniel smirked. Just another motivational guru, he thought. But then Cal said something that froze him in his tracks. In the new economy, there are two types of people who will thrive: those who can work with intelligent machines, and those who can work at an elite level of concentration. Everyone else will struggle. Daniel's chest tightened. He replayed the line over and over. It wasn't just theory, it was his reality. He was watching colleagues get promoted, not because they were smarter, but because they were focused. They were producing at levels he couldn't match. Was he destined to become obsolete? The next morning, Daniel walked into his office building in downtown Manhattan. He looked around, screens flickering, phones buzzing, analysts racing against time. He saw himself reflected in the glass walls of the trading floor. Dark circles under his eyes, shoulders slouched. For the first time, he admitted it, he was addicted. Addicted to distraction. Every notification gave him a dopamine rush, a false sense of productivity. But the real work, the kind of work that built fortunes, changed lives, and secured futures, was slipping away. That evening, Daniel sat in his apartment staring at the city skyline. He asked himself a terrifying question. If I keep living this way, who will I become in 10 years? The answer? A man with scattered ideas, shallow work, and regrets. But deep inside, a whisper arose: you can take control back. Daniel remembered Cal's words. Deep work is valuable, rare, and meaningful. Valuable. In a world where distractions eat attention, focus creates results. Rare. Most people can't sit still for 10 minutes without checking their phone. That means anyone who can focus gains a competitive edge. Meaningful. Focus doesn't just build wealth, it builds fulfillment. Daniel realized that if he wanted financial freedom, if he wanted to design a life of purpose, he needed to rebuild his relationship with focus. He needed to step into deep work. But how? That question would lead him into the most difficult and rewarding chapter of his life.